Next, from the state capitol, we talk with Senator Darin LaHood about his efforts to ensure that those who win in Illinois gambling establishments have paid their child support payments. This runs about 5 minutes.
Senator Darin LaHood. We often are be covering a whole lot here in the spring legislative session. Some of the big issues, concealed carry, pension reform, but we wanted to take a moment. There's any number of other issues that different lawmakers will pick up on, and they're also important in their own way and address an issue. And one of those we understand that you're working on across the aisle is having to do with the riverboat casinos in Illinois. What is that bill?
Yeah, so it's Senate Bill 1820, and it's a bill that would require casinos and racetracks that when there's a jackpot that's won or money that's won, that they first need to check with our child support registry in the state of Illinois. So in the state of Illinois, through the Department of Health Care and Family Services, there are millions and millions of dollars in child support owed. If this law is passed, it would require that if you win a $30,000 jackpot and you owe child support, that money gets taken out and given to that child that is rightly deserved. So right now, 4 other states have this in place, states that have riverboat casino. And from my perspective, I spent a little time as a prosecutor prosecuting child support cases. I also have a riverboat in my district in East Peoria, or in my area. And so from the standpoint that taking money that's being spent at a casino that should rightly be given to children to raise them is what this bill is all about. I'm going to be presenting in an executive committee today. I've worked with the gaming people on this and also the department on this, and I believe we have a good chance of having it pass in a bipartisan way that will help bring down that child support obligation that we have out there.
What are some of the technical issues with the would the gambling establishment send a check directly to the Department of Children and Family Services? Or
correct. Yeah. So the way it would work is the triggering mechanism would be $1,200, because right now if you win $1,200 or more at a casino in the state of Illinois, you have to fill out an IRS form declaring that. So once that triggering mechanism happens, then the casino is going to be obligated under my law to check a registry that's given in real time for people that are on that list that owe child support. And you know, there's people in this state that owe for lots of years and lots of money. So once that gets checked, then they'll have an obligation to withhold that money, notify the gambler of that. That money then gets sent after 7 days to the department and will be distributed to the child or the caregiver for that child. And I will note that in the state of Indiana that has had this in place for, I believe, 3 years now, they're going to collect over $1 million this year for child support.
You know, 2 questions occur to me. One, if someone won, let's say, $50,000, to pick an arbitrary number, and they had to give all of that to past due child support, do they still have to report $50,000 income on their taxes?
I believe they would. Obviously, that'd be a determination by the IRS. But yeah, my understanding is they would, yeah.
I would think so, because it's money then they're paying their obligations with, so they're going to get double dinged, or dinged, I should say, the tax on that. And then I was going to say, where does an idea like this come from? Did you just happen to... Well, let me just ask that.
Yeah, well, part of it is I've dealt with some of my folks in the Peoria area on child support and the problem of collecting child support and looking at other ways to do that to help children and families. And also my background, I spent about 9 years as a state and federal prosecutor, and my first job was in Cook County prosecuting child support cases, so I have a little bit of familiarity with it. And then also in the Peoria area, we have a riverboat there that pays out to lots of different people. So it was a collaboration effort between the folks in Peoria, my background, and then looking at other states that are doing this. It seemed to me to make common sense, doesn't cost taxpayers any money to do this, and can help remedy some of our problems with child support.
You're working, I believe, in the House with Representative Greg Harris on this, and is that right?
Representative David Harris.
I'm sorry, David Harris. And to that end, too, where does it stand? What's the feeling? You said you would touch base with the gambling establishments. Are they on board?
Yes, we've worked out some of the technical aspects of it, but I'm going to be presenting it in executive committee today. I believe we'll pass it out of there, bring it to the Senate floor next week. I'm anticipating that we'll have broad support from Republicans and Democrats to move it to the House then, and then have it signed by the governor is my hope.
Lastly, just your dad is still the current Secretary of Transportation. He's announced he's going to be leaving. How's he doing, and is he looking forward to having a little time off? He retired once before he was selected as Secretary of Transportation.
Well, I think he's enjoyed his job a tremendous amount, serving for 4 years as Secretary of Transportation. He's looking forward to being done, moving on to the next phase in his life. He's got 10 grandchildren, all 10 and under, and so I think he's looking forward to being a grandpa and enjoying life.
All right, Senator LaHood, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Terry.
You're watching the Illinois Channel, an independent nonprofit corporation formed to provide gavel-to-gavel coverage of Illinois state government and other public affairs events taking place across Illinois.